Hello and welcome back to Space Engineers. My name is Rabenschild. Today we have to do some work around the base. So I need to kind of outline where this base will stop. I have the feeling it is already getting too big, although I would like to add more to it. But we will build a few blocks on each side and then start to finish this slope. I want to finish these parts for now, and then we have to see what we can build on top. And I also want to kind of finish this out so that we kind of have a cap on it, so that we don't make it too high here. That will be interesting. I worked on some other stuff in the meantime. Let me show that to you. So I not finished, but I'm working on the kind of layout for the pipes in the bottom here. And while I was doing this, I dug out more stuff and then started to have this connector here so that I can connect up the ships to the base if necessary. And we will take a look at that in a second, because I'm using a bit of, it's nothing special, but I'm using a bit of timer magic to kind of get this pipe right. One problem I have with it is these corner blocks here, and that's something I don't understand, because let me get that. Oh yeah, I added a few mods that I want to test out. There's I don't know, first when modding became available in Space Engineers, and it wasn't even DirectX 11 then, Keen brought us a pack with some example mods, and these are brought back over and over again because they sometimes break, and Keen never kind of updated them to DirectX 11 or something like that. There was a cannon in there and some upgrade modules for some things like drills and gyros and all that stuff. I definitely wanted to take a look at that again. And mainly we talked about that in the last stream, that I wanted to have the medium ion thrusters back, and I have them now. So that's a good thing. I can use these now again. I also have a scaffolding mod that really is like scaffolding you would put next to a building. Something else, I think I've put in another one, I feel. Yeah, a transparent display mod I wanted to take a look at. Rabenschild wanted to have this for the server, so I hear this one, and I wanted to test that out here too. It is like a bit like a window with a display in it, and pretty nice. Wanted to take a look at that. Good. Main thing, I wanted to take a look at the, what's it called? Oh, I forgot the name for it. I had after here the blast doors. So there's a corner piece in the blast doors. That is this one. So it forms a nice corner for these blaster blocks. The only problem that I have now is that when I try to drive this out, it will not work for some reason. Once I add these corners, this thing stops to work. I can show you this. So it is not moving, and let me see if it immediately starts working once I bring that. See? And now it works. So what's happening there? This thing should work no matter what. Is there a problem with the blast door corners? Or do they not have the same abilities that the blast doors have? Because they seem to be like a normal corner. And with a normal corner, if I would put a block in here, this wouldn't work. It's weird because that's something I don't know how that comes to be. Let me bring that back. It's a weird thing I don't really understand. Will I have to think about that? How to make that nice? I could try. So what if I put in the other corner? What if I put in one of these? Would it work with this corner in place? Not that it is nice. This doesn't look so great. Let's say it that way. But it might work. And then we at least can close the corners here. Good. Let me try if that works. This works. This is so weird. This is so weird. Okay, I will close these corners off with these blocks then for now, until maybe it is explained why this doesn't work. Good. I have to say a big thank you to all of you, kind of. In the last episode, I told you about a comment. It's again one thing I can't stress enough. That the person that wrote the comment, I'm pretty sure that was not meant in any way, in any bad way or something like that. So some people said I should not stress the haters, and again I'm pretty sure that's not the case. It's not the case that someone thought, oh yeah, now I will talk about his inability to speak English, and then and I didn't take it that way. It was just something that kind of irked me. Sometimes there's comments where I kind of start to think about them, and then I ask myself, why was this a comment posted? So, and a lot of you were really nice and said my English is better than sometimes people that should speak English. And that's something that is really nice. I still have to answer some of the comments. Didn't have a lot of time in the last few days, so I will over the next week start to answer the comments, and then don't know, at least say thank you to everybody that left a comment, kind of in a personal way. Good. So this thing, you already saw it. It has a sensor that basically sees the new grid, and as soon as I bring that up, it kind of stops where it needs to stop, and then we can lock the ship down. If I want to fly away again, I can unlock the ship from the cockpit and then fly away, and this thing will be pulled back in. The sensor is set up in a way where it triggers a timer block that so let me show that to you. It's dumb to just talk about it. Let me show that to you. And again, it's easy. That's nothing special here. So this one is set up. This is the trigger action. It kind of brings out the piston refueler. That's the piston there, and it just toggles the block off once it reaches the limit there. And once I fly away, the sensor, let me show that to you just so you get that too. It is set up to detect small ships for now, and nothing else. I just detect everything, owner, friendly, neutral, I don't care here. But everything else is turned off, except for the audible proximity alert. And the action is, so short explanation, sensor has two actions. One action triggers once an object that it detects enters the detection area, that's the first one. And that is, it triggers refueler 1, that is timer refueler 1, that is the stop the piston. And once the object exits the sensor area, it triggers the second action, and this is set up to timer block refueler 2, and both are just set to trigger now. And this one I brought down the times, but it's not needed because it triggers immediately. I'm just using that to be able to maybe have multiple actions going on. And so what it does is it turns the piston back on and then retracts the piston. That's one of the cooler things in the menus down here. You can tell it to not reverse. You can say, I want you to retract. I want you to extend. Nice thing. And it just brings the piston back into its 0 position, basically. Good. There might be other things I can do. I've put down 2 more timer blocks, so I can maybe add some more actions if I need them. For now, this is basically just a way to be able to refuel these ships, especially the ornithopter. In the last few days, I tested the ornithopter a bit more with the wings flapping, and even with just these small weights in the end, it is hard to fly because the whole thing gets turned out of whack, kind of, even with more gyros. I showed that to you the last time. Even with more gyros, it doesn't fly straight. It gets turned on its side, and it doesn't bob up and down. That's a good thing, but the forces that the rotors kind of exert on the ship turn it to the side, let it roll where I don't want it to roll. So this again, I will bring down the wings and maybe have it at the moment as a piece there that is there because, and I will work more on this in the meantime. So you can see I worked more on the fortress, and I want to have the top for now flat. This will go up a bit more. I want to put some guns on top, and this will go up more too. And then I need some forms, some things that I can put up top here. That's something. I want to have maybe another statue that sits here, and then a tank. So not a tank, a tank, a container, something like this up here that sits up here, and on the other side something like that too. We will go out, I think 10 more blocks or 11 more blocks just to that side, and then connect that up and bring the whole thing then back into the mountain. And I want to kind of close that off so that I can start drilling this out, start to make the entrance hall, and then I need to take a look at the game again so that I kind of maybe are able to do a bit of the layout that the palace in the game had. That would be interesting to me. We will see. That's definitely a future project. I worked a bit more on the eagles, and I'm not sure if I made their beer bellies a lot more prominent, but I didn't want to have it stick out so much, so I made them at least a bit roundish. Beer belly eagles. I'm I'm happy with them. I'm really happy with them. Bitfighter from my streams had some suggestions for statues. I will have to see if I can bring them in somewhere. But it's something that people that watch other bigger YouTube creators will recognize, and so I fear to implement them just so that I don't get flack for that. Good. Okay. Yeah. Let us continue that. The thing is that somewhere here stops the range of the build and repair system, so we will have to lock that into. So this is in all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So we will go 10 more out, I think. 31 is good. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then from here we will go up. I have to see that I maybe am able to block down this block. Yes, it's possible. So, I have a bit of good news for me. Hopefully good news for the channel. We will see how that works out, because I am starting a new job in the end of August that will do some things to the scheduling, because I will have to work certain times in the week that might change some of the things, some of the schedule we have right now. And I hope that I can manage to still bring you videos. I don't know. The job is completely new to me. It's something I have never done before, and I hope that. So to me, it's a really interesting thing to do, and I hope that I manage, let's say it that way. It could be a really weird experience to me and could be a bit of a culture shock, but I'm not. Yeah, it's don't know. It's something that always happens when you go into a new job, that maybe you run into. But the thing is, I learned in Germany we have certain ways how you learn your jobs. We have apprenticeships, and you go to school while you're doing your apprenticeship and all that stuff. And I learned the job that I originally learned is I'm a media designer. So I do things with printing things. So I work in the print industry, or I work for the print industry, and for a long time I did that on my own. So, and a few years ago I learned something new. I wanted to kind of bring. So I did a course that allowed me here in Germany, and I told the story too, allowed me here in Germany to teach apprentices. And that is a small course to learn how teaching works and all that stuff. And if you are able to do that, there's people that are not able to do that. I am. And so that kind of led me down the track to say, man, that's a neat thing. I want to go maybe into that field. And so from the next month, I am starting a job as it. How to explain this? Germany has a lot of rules when it comes to teaching and when it comes to equality and when it comes to things like how you would teach kids with disabilities, for example. So in Germany, a few years back, there was a thing that got started where parents could send a kid with disabilities, and we are not talking. We are not talking about kids with don't know, a kid that can't see. That's not the problem. We are talking about kids with severe mental disabilities, for example, or severe, not so severe. It's very different. It's a very different thing, and parents are now able to send their kids with mental disabilities into regular schools. It is called inclusion, and it's a thing that is very much discussed here in Germany, discussed and talked about, if it's the right way to do certain things, and I really don't care, but in this field there is a job that kind of gives a person, someone that is able to do a bit of teaching, a bit of something like that, to help the school. That's an expression. So kind of I would work together with a kid and help the school to teach this kid, kind of. And I wanted to completely start into a new field when it comes to that. Go away from what I initially learned. And I have a lot of people that are in the field of teaching in my friend group, and don't know, we talked about that I kind of wanted to go into teaching, into stuff like that. And my friend said, why don't you try that? Because it's kind of the side entrance into this field, because you don't have to be a teacher to get involved with that, because you are more like a partner. You don't go in and I don't know. You're not supposed to teach the kid in physics or in mathematics, in stuff like that, because some of these kids are not. It's a weird thing, but I would be on the side of the kid and then maybe focus it a bit more on what it is supposed to do, or help with the stuff they need to learn. It will be interesting. It will be a completely new experience for me, and I'm happy to go into something completely new to me, and can't wait to start that. It could be that some of my newer videos then will be a lot of whoa, but I hope it will not be that way. So I applied for that job, and the thing is that these kids are very there's a lot of different how to say that without sounding The severities of disabilities these kids have is very, very, very. Each kid has its own degree of severity that the disability is. It could be a kid that has light forms of autism that you need to focus, that you need to kind of just keep on track. But it could be kids with mental disabilities that where they learn very slow, and you need to kind of help this kid to go through the stuff it needs to learn, and it will be very, very interesting. And it's kind of case-based, so every person gets his own case there, and I have two kids that I can. No, I can't choose. Let's say I can't choose. There's sometimes you can choose, but here the cases I have. The second case is basically just a fallback plan right now. As a man, I'm a bit heavier set, so some people would. I'm heavier. I have a bit more broad shoulders, and so it's the first kid that the people that organize this whole thing want to have me for is a kid that sometimes gets unhinged, let's say it that way. And they need someone that commands authority for that kid. And I talked to I talked to the lady that organizes that, and that would be my not my boss, but my manager, let's say it that way. And she said, yeah, I immediately thought of you. It's my fatness gave me a job advantage here. Let's say it that way. It will be interesting. It could be that I do not get that kid because there's things going on there that at the moment make it so that it could be that I don't end up with this kid, but it could be interesting. I'm not going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I will not go into details because it might be that I'm not too much allowed to talk about the details there, so that's not what I want to do. But I at least wanted to tell you that there could be some different things in the next weeks. I have, don't know, 2.5 more weeks or so until that starts. Then the summer holidays in Germany are over then, and then school starts, and it will be an interesting thing. I hope that this all works out for me. The company, or again, I call it company. It is different. Again, the company that organizes these I don't know how to call it in English. It's, again, the job description there is something where I can't say, okay, it's this job. These assistants basically to the school, to the kid, the company that organizes that, they also have programs to for these assistants, and have learning programs there to go deeper into the field. that was one of the main arguments that kind of gave me this thing where it said, ooh, and I would even be paid to do these learning programs. So learning is always fun, and learning something new is always fun, and I can hope that, don't know, maybe in the future, at the moment, I will be an unlearned assistant that also says I'm getting not as much money as the learned assistants. Kind of. I hope that with these learning programs I can get into a learned assistant, and then hopefully I'm getting even a bit more money. That would be great. Yeah, it's something really different from what I usually do. The thing is that I will not keep my other job, but I will kind of continue to work in this because Germany has a lot of holidays for school children. So out of 52 weeks in a school year, or not only in a school year, in a year, around 12 weeks are holiday weeks for school children. And because if this kid is not there and there is no school for me, I will have a lot of free time when it comes to school holidays, and that will be a great thing. But I will have to organize a bit of a way to then earn money. So for one, it will be good for me because I can do I will have 12 weeks in a year where I can nearly completely focus on YouTube. That's great. And the other thing is that I can do what I have done before and work with clients when it comes to designing, business cards and all that stuff. Will be great. It will be great. And again, it gives me. It's just an opportunity. Some of my friends said you get lost in what you do, and you wanted to do the whole learning thing, and why don't you do it that way? And they were completely right. I hope that works out to me. The schools will be two different schools here in Germany. That the one is a normal school, so I to give you translations of the school forms. So the one is a school, a normal school, and the other is a school for kids with disabilities. So that will be I think definitely more interesting way to work. Again, could be a bit of a culture shock for me. I'm not sure how to handle this right now. It could be a bit of a weird thing. But on the other hand, there's so much to learn for me, and there's so much to then take in, and something that might completely change my outlook a bit. Today I talked to the manager there, and And it was so funny to get basically told that my heavier set basically said, "Oh yeah, we want this guy because he's a strong guy." That's something I never heard. That was something I heard after I came out of school. Then I did some odd jobs. Let's say it that way. They're the people who were always happy that I could lift things, and the after that, let's say it was not the. If you go into the media designer thing, then it's easier to. Don't know if you are a more lankier, leaner type that can sell things very well. And when you are young and enthusiastic and not the heavy set old guy that knows his stuff, but it's a weird thing. But I was really happy after that came up. I need to bring in steel plates. We are missing steel plates right now, so I think I will take the ship up, bring down some iron, and then come back to you and finish this here. I hope I'm not talking too much, and I hope you're at least a bit interested in what I have to say here. Good. We'll be back in a second with a bit more steel. I have continued a bit without you and brought in the iron. I brought 400,000 units of iron, and I hope that will carry me a while. Yeah, we need to establish something to get more materials. That will be definitely the next thing to do. I wanted to kind of set the borders for the palace, and now we need something that brings us in ores or something like that. This will be interesting. Good. But first I have laid out these build and repair systems, so I integrated them into the sides, and I laid them below the hopefully main level of the palace or of the fortress. I had to drill a bit, and it took a while because I'm trying to, most of the time when I drill here, to do that with the normal drill mode, so that I can grab all the materials that are in the stone, the few materials that are in there. Let me turn off the area. We is not what I was searching for. I was searching for this. Turn that off again. Now the whole thing can be built with the build and repair systems. I might have to put one somewhere in the top again at one point, but that will be okay. Let me sit down for a moment. I exhausted my energy here very much. So yeah, hope you my story didn't bore you too much. I will end the episode here in a short moment. We will maybe place some more of the steel plates. Again, for me this will be a relatively huge undertaking, where something really new to me happens, and I'm really happy that I don't know, that I took that shot basically. It is a concept that I kind of a few months ago I started to it's a weird thing, but I started to say yes a bit more, and especially when it comes to stuff like that. Most of the time at the moment it led me into stuff that was not so great. We can, if you're interested, we can talk about that stuff in the near future, but you will have to let me know if these are stories that interest you. And this time I have a really good feeling. I'm nervous a bit, but that I think again with the culture shock incoming, it will be great. Yes, and so good old Rabenschild goes back to school. I will see if I get the kid in the normal school, then I will start right after elementary school with whatever I learn there. And the thing is that the assistant kind of will stay with the kid as long as the assistant is there, and as long as the kid basically needs the assistant. It's one of these things. So it might be that I go through the whole the whole school system again. That will be interesting. Learning all the don't know, there's so much stuff from school I just forgot, and I might get some of that stuff back. The good thing is I'm not there for my own notes. When I went to school, I was a bit say it that way. My sense of succeeding in school came a lot later, and then drove me to a lot better notes, and I had a lot better not notes, grades than before. So but now it's good. No, I'm not there. I'm not the one that will be graded there, so that's a good thing. But yeah, let me know if there's more stories that need telling, basically. When it comes to when it comes to job opportunities, there's some things. Let's say it that way. Good people. Let me continue this here for a moment. Yeah, again, I cannot stress enough how great all the comments on the last episode were. I was crazy surprised by the last. Yeah, let us do a bit of channel housekeeping. The last Cliff Empire video, for some reason, tripled in, could be quadrupled even in views from the one before, and I don't have any knowledge why. So and there's not a lot of comments on there. I'm at the moment, I'm kind of really ignoring analytics. Should do that more, but for me at the moment, going into the numbers is something that is not really worthwhile. So I'm ignoring analytics a lot, but I need to take a look at this video because it is a crazy, don't know, difference to what there was before. And that's good. We will see if that continues. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it will not. The Cliff Empire video, Cliff Empire audience seems to be relatively small. But we'll see. And the last Space Engineers videos, yeah, it was great having all these really nice comments. People trying to kind of, again, it was not a hit to my confidence or anything, but it was great hearing all the nice words from all the people and saying that I shouldn't worry about my English there. Good, let us finish this ground here and then I should go and do something else. Okay, this will be... Again, these towers will hold... Not hold, but on top of them I want to again put some guns at least on this here. We don't know what there will be in the future when it comes to enemies with the next update looming. There might be things happening. I'm pretty sure it will not be any problem. The next update will be the economy thing, and it doesn't seem to be too impacting for what I'm doing here. Some of the people might have noticed that I don't do a lot when it comes to the new update because it is really not interesting to me. Sadly to say, I would like to see something else than being able to buy and sell things, because that's not my main concern when it comes to my world. But for the future, we will see. There is, for people that start out playing, there's definitely challenges in the economy update, because you could start out and say, I want to just buy stuff. What is happening here? Oh, come on, the game is not behaving. The game is not behaving. It is all the see that? It is the build and repair systems. They stump the simulation speed, and we need to kind of reload the world. So it's good that we can kind of end it here. People, I think that's all for today. Hope you liked the episode. If you did, then please leave a like on the video. That helps me out a bunch. Take a look at the description. There is links to Patreon, my Discord, Twitter. Not that I do a lot there, but that needs to change at one point. And then there also is the mod collection. It's a collection I made. It's not all the mods we have in here. I need to update that, but it's some of the mods I really like. I need to filter a bit through there to get rid of mods that are not really usable anymore or something like that, but that will happen. Good people, I thank you for watching, and I would say I hope I see you in the next video. See ya, guys.